Hello, I'm going to start doing a job, and that job is repairing the side of my shed. I'll show you what it's like in a minute. But my first part of the job is to move these fence panels round into next door's garden. I've spoken to my neighbour and she says no problem. So what I've just done there is I've lifted that fence panel up, and I'm hoping that if I bring one of these fence panels in here kind of diagonally, it'll go through the gap. So there we go, phase one completed. Hello, right, I'm in next door's garden. There's my ramshackle end of my garage. It's all just very, well, ramshackle I suppose is the word. That's the shed. These are the remnants of a shed that I use just to close in this side part. That's where I do all the grinding there. And these are the panels I'm going to replace it with. I need to take that fence post out. The fence just goes to there. It ought to carry on, but I agreed with the neighbour to just leave the sides of the sheds exposed, because if they're right up against the fence it tends to cause problems. That said, this area here needs to be dug away a bit to, you know, that's going to cause problems in itself, isn't it? Anyway, that's a job for another time. This is what I'm concerned about. Bad rot down there. Bad rot here. This is where a fence post was attached to it. And you can see here how badly rotted it is. I'll have to come around with a bucket and just put all the bits in a bucket, because it's going to make a mess. This will have to come out, although it is pretty solid, to be honest. I might see if I can leave that in place. So this one, this first panel, they're 71 inches from there to there. It's just short of 6 foot, which comes around about to about here. 71 inches comes around about there. So I'm going to cut down there and start taking these pieces of wood off, and I'm going to leave the frame there because there's various things attached to the frame. Look, don't expect expert DIY techniques from this. This is just fixing something. Hopefully it'll last a few years. I need to do some repair down there. The frame has gone. So I suppose the best thing to do is to just get started and see what I'm presented with. Hello, right, I've made a start. I took my circular saw and cut down there, and I started pulling some of the timber away. I think it's going to reveal that there's some serious problems with the old wooden frame. I mean, let's face it, there was never much to it anyway. But I'm thinking I might try and leave that in place, because there's various shelves and things attached to the old frame. I'll see if I can do like a localized repair of the rotten bits at the bottom. And that piece there isn't very good. That's completely had it. So yeah, these shelves are screwed to this frame. Yeah, it needs a lot of work, doesn't it? So I'll keep chipping away, and I'll just chip away enough to get this first panel kind of propped up to block the hole up. Then I'll probably come out and do a bit more tomorrow. Okay, you can see my press there, look. I'm just trying to weigh up exactly what's going on here. It's completely had it, hasn't it? The footer rail is gone. This was some metal that I put here from the inside just to, you know, because I knew there was a hole. And those bits of wood there just kind of filling up the gap. That post is completely not resting on anything. This post is completely floating. Well, actually there's a bit of tension on it, but the roof rests on it. And the roof rests on here. And the roof rests all the way along here. Now, the fence panels have three sort of fairly stout, well, four actually, fairly stout wooden things, you know, like that, which will be going vertically. So I'm thinking, I don't know whether to just kind of take this all out and put the fence panel in, and then use the wooden parts of the fence panel as the vertical things. Because the windows are here, this doesn't actually do much. I think what I might need to do is go inside and empty these shelves. That was what I was hoping not to do, actually, to have to disturb all this stuff. I need to cut this or take it off to get back to the wooden frame. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, I'll keep going anyway, keep going regardless, and work it out, make it up as I go along. Okay, right, I can't really see that I can do very much more, because what's occurring to me is that I can't afford to leave any rotten wood anywhere, can I? A lot of that stuff is rotten, and to do the job properly I need to get access from inside. I think I'll just put one of the panels kind of in place just to sort of block the hole up, and then I will do what I didn't want to do, but what it looks like I'm going to have to do, and that is to clear that part of the shed out, the side shed, clear that part out so I can, you know, do a better job. Can't really do a half-arsed job, not when you put it on the internet. Well, you can, but you know, it generates too much hate. I've had a little go, I've started the job, and getting the fence panels through was the main thing. I had to wait till my neighbour was here to be able to just get permission to do that. I can see that I'm going to be busy for a little while doing this. Anyway, it might be interesting just to see how it goes. Oh dear, look at all this lot. All this stuff I'm going to have to move. Oh dear. Oh well. It's time for a bit of a reshuffle and a reorganise, I think. Okay. Good job I get on with my neighbours, isn't it? Those shelves, you see, there's not really much holding them up. I'll take them down and find somewhere to put the things temporarily. Okay, yeah, this is going to be a much bigger job than I thought, isn't it? Not to mention all this lot here, all these shelves, which are all attached to the thing. I think those ones there are freestanding. This part actually isn't so bad, but this part is quite bad. Okay, anyway, let me think about what I'm going to do. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. Hello, I'm out here in the shed again, and in the side shed. I came out last night and I completely removed the frame of this part of the shed. Just took the frame completely out. Not sure if that's what I'll do on the other part, but that's what I've done on this part. And I have put a fence panel in place, and as you can see there's a gap down there. And what I've done is I've added these bits of wood here, which were salvaged from the frame, these bits, so that, you see, that's the frame of the roof bit. There's that bit there, which is the same size wood, so the fence is butted up against that and is supporting it. Again, it's all a little bit ramshackle. So what I need to do is kind of jack the fence panel up. I need to jack the fence panel up. It is jacked up at the moment, but not jacked up hard, because I want to bring this up to match that. Maybe. And you can see the fence pieces just below the floor here, which is okay, because what I'll probably do is just put angle brackets. I'll just put angle brackets on the posts like that and screw to the floorboards. These are scaffolding planks, they're pretty strong. So that's how it looks from the outside. I think, you know, at the end of the day it will be a tidier job than what I had before. I thought about repairing the old frame, but I realised that really the frame wasn't doing very much. And the roof's not very heavy, it's only a little bit. So the fence panels have got enough strength in them themselves to support that. So anyway, there's my little levering device there, look. So that's jacked up, and I just need to kind of push it up a bit more to raise the roof a little bit. Now I suspect that has just, yeah, that's just gone onto the floor there. So I will do some checking of squareness and level and get that first panel fixed in place. Okay, righto, back in a bit. Right, got the first one in place. I've tried to do it as square as I can. In other words, it doesn't quite line up to the shed because it looks like the shed isn't quite square. I don't know how I'll get on when I try matching it in with the rest of it, and I don't know what the rest of the frame's like. It's gone in quite nicely. I've got to put something in down there at the bottom. I've got like a treated timber, which you have to kind of almost treat like a sacrificial piece. Hopefully the fence panel itself is high enough up that it won't be affected too much. The problem with this side, this is the shady side, it's the sun. It might get the sun very early in the morning, but the sun's generally kind of over that way. I've got a gap there I need to fill in. I just put an angle bracket there onto that one. I've got to put something there, which will be a different sort of bracket. But the roof is kind of supported all the way along the length. The angle bracket's a little bit smaller than what I might have used, but you got to understand, this is just something to keep the rain off. It's not supposed to be a mega structure, and we don't get violent tornadoes and things. You occasionally get a storm, but nothing too outrageous. And it's pretty sheltered here with the houses and the trees. I've got a gap there, which I'll just put a piece of wood down there like that. Yeah, a better piece than this, obviously. I'll just put a piece of wood down that gap like that. Something to fill the gap. Okay, right. First one in. I think it's going to be alright. I think this job here might be a pain. Let's just see how it shapes up when I get the panel out. Okay, let's leave it at that for now then, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.